All right. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I know y'all trying to get situated on your Monday, getting organized and ready for a great week. If you had a chance to watch the company's webinar today, we couldn't have better timing. We started off, I guess, with our Leaders Library this morning. Christian Speaks did a great job speaking about the first things first and the big rock scenario and planning and the importance of planning and making sure that you're not just busy but um, you are profitable, you are productive. That's the word I was looking for. Not just busy but productive. And so most of you have heard of the the 8-step process of being productive. The very first one starts, of course, with planning. Gerald's going to speak to you today. He's got a really good PowerPoint to go through the planning process of the 10 blocks and the 4-week forecast. Then this Thursday, Bruce is going to be coming in with step 2. Monday, we're going to hit step 3. Next Thursday, step 4. And over the next 4 weeks between Monday, Thursday, we will hit all 8 steps. Thursdays, don't forget, will be at 7:30 a.m. Today's Mondays are at 2:30. It's designed to be a 30-minute window. If we have time for Q&A at the end, I will definitely open it up. But if we don't, we'll let you get back into the grind so you can use what you learned today. So I'm going to shut up. Gerald, I've made you host. I'll let you unmute yourself, share your screen, and take it from there. And you're muted. And you.
How about now?
Yes, sir.
We good. All right, y'all bear with me. I'm fairly new to Zoom, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Okay, I just realized that we had, I don't know, Brian, I couldn't hear you earlier, but I guess Globe Life did the webinar on 10 blocks of time and 4-week forecast. So I feel like this is going to be a little bit better. It's going to be a little bit more information, and I think there's some technical difficulties. So what is 10 blocks of time and why is it important? Well, first thing is our weekly schedule. It gives us structure, helps us to just know where we're going, because how many times have we worked with somebody or we're working with an AD or a supervisor, and then by Wednesday we forget where we're going, where we're supposed to be meeting them and what time and the details. So this is going to be going to help you stay on track, know where you need to be. And also this should be taken in the field every day and discussed with whoever if you're working with an SA, a GA, or an AD. It needs to be in the field first thing you do before you do your first walk-in, because you got to know what time you have available to be able to speak and meet with people for appointments and setting up enrollment. So that's super, super important there. Why is it important? It provides us direction. And I'm going to tell you why that's underlined. And I don't know if you guys have them, but I sent out some slotted notes to go along with this to kind of as a reference. So anything that you see, if you have the slotted notes in front of you, anything you see with a line under it is going to be an indication that you need to fill that out on your notes page. All right, so it provides us direction. How do you know where to go? Who to see, who to talk to. So it just kind of points you in the right direction and keeps us focused on the money-making activity. That is enrollments. Activity is enrolling the employees. That's where we generate our income, but also where are my appointments, my hot leads, my follow-ups, my business referrals. And it provides the structure mainly in your thoughts. Because it's hard to keep, we talk to ideally a couple hundred people a month. It's hard to keep all them conversations in our head. So as long as we put it on paper or writing, and at least on the 4-week forecast, I'll go over a little bit later. The weakest ink is better than the best memory. Better to have that direction and the structured process to keep us in the right place at the right time, speaking to the right people. And that's where we're going to get our results. Helps you organize. How do you know what you have available, where you can be next week or the week after? Mainly organizing your schedule follow-ups, your warm leads, and your hots. You want to keep those in front of you. Those are the ones that is going to be your next close. And most importantly, we're not paid by the hour. We're not paid to show up. So this helps us prioritize our time and, just as important, our effort. Because I get out, and I know you guys get out there and you're working every day. Am I getting a return on this time, my effort? Sometimes feels like we're in the green, we're to the good, but sometimes it feels like we're in the red, we're in the negative. So this is going to help us prioritize our time and our efforts in order to build our business. And then lastly, provides accountability. Not only accountability for your AD or for the team, but your personal accountability, that integrity, that work ethic. Am I going to commit to what I said I'm going to do to get the lifestyle or the income that I want, which is why we're all here.
Hey, Gerald, can you do me a
so
favor? I've got some text
yes,
messages. Somebody said they're trying to get in the room. And when I look at participants, it's not allowing me to let anybody in. Can you click down there and see if
okay.
it allows you to let somebody in?
Yes, yep. And just admit. Okay, gotcha. Well, now I know how to do that.
We learn as we go,
Now
right?
everybody else knows how to do it now too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
All right, as far as direction, how do we know where to go, what to do, who to speak with, and when and where? So we're going to use our layers in Epic to help give us provide some direction. All right, so if you have the slotted notes, that's going to be Epic layers is the structure that provides the direction in the right direction. And Destiny was calling. So it's like a navigation. How does a pilot or ship captain know where to go? They need direction and guidance. Your layers is going to be the map to put you in the right place at the right time to speak to the right people. And so what is the question? What do I have access to, or what do I have in Epic available in Epic? Guys, we have a lot of resources in Epic that you're not even aware of it. So every agent, you have opportunities assigned to you that we've had in the past. They may or may not be viable. They may have just the last employee may have rolled off, and we just haven't been around to schedule a re-enroll to renew the no cost because it doesn't have anything on the books, and we're trying to prioritize our time. So I have closed, or I have reestablished many accounts that have zero on the books, and I wasn't familiar with it. While I was in that town, I just added it to the route and stopped by. And I can tell you, I probably renewed or just reestablished about 8 or 10 accounts in the past 5 years. And you just never know unless you stop by.
Hey,
All right,
sorry.
and the who.
I'm still getting
Yeah,
text.
got 3
I don't know
more.
if you
I see
can
that.
see these. Okay. Yep.
I'll try to be more mindful of that, Brian.
Yeah, I hate to interrupt, but I hate for everybody to miss this also.
Yeah, well, I know where it's at now. And so the who is the leads I have, the appointments I have, hot leads, schedule follow-ups, presentations not closed, and business referrals. This is the B2Bs, business-to-business referrals. So this is who I'm going to reach out to, who I'm going to reconnect with. And then when. day and time enrollments, like what what specific days and times do I have these? We have these enrollments to schedule. When are my appointments? Schedule follow-ups and warm leads. Now these warm leads are scheduled out months in advance, so you want to definitely keep these in front of you. And then where, address and city. And just looking at the layers here, this is something we should be accessing every Friday and every Monday. This is where everything is housed as far as your leads and opportunities. This is a good resource. All right, so structure, where do I start? Well, it's right here on our 10 blocks. This is kind of how we prioritize our time and kind of organize our thinking. It's right here on our 10 blocks for us. Our number one priority is enrollments, right? That's where our money's made this week. Appointments is our second level of priority. And what makes these two so important, because if you've got an enrollment scheduled or you got an opportunity, first that's the money, but if you've got an enrollment scheduled, you've got a specific date and a specific time and somebody is expecting you. So if you don't show up, lost opportunity. Same thing with appointments. Ideally, appointments should be a specific day, a specific date, time, and somebody's expecting us. And we don't need to be, we need every benefit we can get, so we don't want to lose those. So those are our priorities. And so opportunities, it's in your layers, but you've seen it as, Brian, I tried to click them in, but it went away somehow. Opportunities is your enrollments. Opportunities you have for this month, next month, 2 months out, and I believe maybe just 2 months out. But these are your annual and your mid-year enrollments. So these are opportunities for this month, or could be the ones that that we haven't set them up yet to enroll. So it's just an opportunity, right? So I want to align my enrollments, my appointments, and opportunities in this fashion. And then lastly is our follow-ups. Now, follow-up is not just I've been there before, I may or may not have spoken to the decision maker. In order to utilize these follow-ups, you've got to be actively managing your leads and disposition them correctly after each walk-in. There's no such thing as a good or a bad lead. It's just the individual that's managing it. And if you're not managing your leads, your business model, your business plan is scattered, and you're just accepting whatever falls in your lap. So this is super intentional, knowing what a hot lead is. Presentation's not closed. I've already built rapport. I've already done my research. I've already spent 30, 45 minutes, an hour with this person. They know who I am. So sometimes it takes a follow-up. Schedule follow-ups. These are ones where I'm going to position myself where I can meet a decision maker based off of information given, best times to catch them. So I'm going to try to align my schedule with that date and time that I can put myself in front of them. And warm leads are those ones that, hey, check back with, I'm not at a place where I can do that now. Check back with me in a couple months. Check back with me in 6 months. Well, here's a perfect example. Come late October, you know, the one thing we're going to start hearing? Yeah, check back with me at the first of the year. That's going to be your warm leads. And then obviously your qualified leads. These are the ones that you packed. The qualified, you verified the 3 criteria: decision maker, number of employees, address, and let me add, as research. As research. All right, so enrollments and appointments. These are your priorities. Here's a sample 10 blocks. When I'm making when I'm getting ready for the week on Friday, first thing that goes on my 10 blocks is our enrollments. That's where our money's going to be made. And then secondly is the appointments. These are your priorities. They're expecting you, so you've got to prioritize them. And if we schedule an enrollment or an appointment and we just don't show, not very professional, may not get that second chance. Right? And then my next level of priority is the opportunities, that's where we have opportunities. Could be for this month. That hasn't been scheduled yet, but here it is. We're at the 22nd of the month. I'm already, as you can see, on Tuesday in the PM, I'm already thinking about October. So those are 2 opportunities for October that I can set up to enroll while I'm in Tifton that morning at an enrollment. Talking about the time value on that, I mean, that's just integrating your schedule and making it one fluid motion. And I do want to bring, I'm going to hit this later, but I do want to bring to your attention the times. I do have those because I need to know how far is Macon from Tifton. And in order for me to get there by 8 o'clock, I need to leave my house at 6:30 to arrive in Tifton by 8 or before 8. Or I need to be meeting an agent or an SA or a GA or the AD at 6:30 to give me the drive time to be in that said location so I can give myself a full rock solid 8 hours. Now remember, we're not paid to drive to work. I don't know of an employer out there that will pay you, hey boss, I'm fixing to head to you so I can be there by 8. No, he's not going to pay you as soon as you get there. You follow me? So it shouldn't be any different here. And okay. All right, so what next? Qualified leads. So once I got my priorities, my big, like the webinar said today on 4-week forecast, those are my big rocks, or my big rocks and my smaller rocks. These qualified leads is, like he said, kind of like the sand or the water that you can fill it in. So I want to look at how many enrollments do I have, how many appointments, how many follow-ups do I have, scheduled follow-ups, and then I want to know how many qualified leads do I have in that location. So how do I find that? I click on the qualified leads tab. And then so knowing each route should have a total of 30 leads each day. Why is that? Well, the more people we talk to, the more opportunity we have. But secondly, what if I got enrollment? What if I got an enrollment schedule and there's 10 employees? And so, but you're always going to have 30 leads on your route, because if you've dealt with people on planet Earth, we all have good intentions, but we forget. So have you ever been to an enrollment where you've gotten there and they say, oh, I forgot you was coming. We're going to have to reschedule, right? So it's better to have 30 and not need them, and then need them and not have them. And so with that, I want to make sure I've got 50% of my leads are follow-up and 50% of my leads that are new. How many times have you gone to a business and you've worked the same leads every time you go to that town? That's discouraging. You always want to be talking to somebody new while you're while you're managing your follow-up pipeline. Always got to be talking to somebody new. So 50 and 50. So what if I don't have 30 leads in that area? So if I don't have 30 qualified leads in this location, or 50% of my leads are not new, all I got to do is subtract what I have from 30, and then this is the number of packs I need to make to qualify before I leave that day, to help me run my business and optimize my chances of getting a close, or at least a presentation. All right, so moving on to walk-in commitment. Now, this is something I don't see a lot put on the 10 blocks. I get it. We do a lot on Friday and Monday and preparing, making the routes, or research, pack calling. But for those of y'all that don't know, we send in a commitment for our team each week to Brian, and I'm sure, I don't know what Brian does with it, but this is how we get our committed. It's not the amount of leads you have on your route. It's what am I personally committing to this day? So Merriam-Webster defines commit as to carry into action deliberately. I'm not just slinging a route together to have 30 leads on there and just randomly going into leads that I shouldn't be going in, that should be scheduled as a warm follow-up. Oh, I remember, oh, crap. Yeah, he told me to come back in 6 months. Well, So this takes deliberate action. To commit takes ownership. You've got to know what you're doing. And you don't know what that day looks like. You're just throwing a route together and just a random 30 leads on there. You can't expect to be very productive. So this is the commitment takes deliberate. And using layers in this 10 blocks is going to give you that structure and direction so you can come up with these numbers. And I'm gonna show you an example of how I come up with these numbers. But the second definition was to pledge or assign to some particular course. Guys, you got to make a pledge. You got to make a commitment, not to put on the 10 blocks, but for you, for your heart, your soul, for your future, for your children, for your family. We're here for the opportunity. It's up to us to take it by the horns and work it. Let the system work for you. So that comes into what you commit to is 100% within your control. What you commit to is 100% within your control. Now, if you're not willing to commit to 100%, then that's going to probably lead into a conversation, or it's probably going to lead into not getting results. Probably going to lead into, not having a very good 4-week forecast going forward. You're not going to have nowhere to go next week. So, guys, you got to commit to your course of action. It can't be any other way. And then this also provides accountability. Accountability for yourself. Am I going to do what I said I'm going to do? This is integrity. This is internal. You've got to go home and sleep, put your head on the pillow, and you got to deal with your own conscience. If your income's not where you want it to be or where it could be or should be, and you're not doing your part, you just got to challenge yourself. Ask yourself, is this right for me? Or am I giving this everything I've got? Because you're going to get out of this in direct proportion exactly what you put into it. And if you're putting in 50% commitment or 75% commitment, come on, let's be real. That's all you could expect to get out of it. All right. Let me back up. Nope, I'm good. All right, so I'm going to walk in. So my walk-in commitment, guys, this is what you have control over. Your AD wants you to do, says, hey, 30 walk-ins is going to give you a better return than 15. AD is going to coach you. Your GA is going to coach you. Your SA is going to coach you. Hey, this is best practices. And for this to be a career, these are the events, the habits, and work ethic we've got to start building to instill so that we can get your pipeline built. So your appointments will start dropping, your closes will start dropping, and so you can have that future you came here for. So walk-in commitment, checking my dashboard at lunch. We call that halftime. And then I'm also checking it at the end of the day. Does it look right? Now, guys, I do this. What I think I did very rarely matches what my activity dashboard says. It feels like I did more, but I walk it back and I go back and look through the route. Yep, time catches you. It will catch you if you're not intentional and focused and aware of how much time you're spending doing this, doing that, popping that Facebook, replying to that Instagram, or whatever it is that catches our attention. Stopping and going potty every 30 minutes. I know you got to do what you got to do, but that takes time out of your day. So you got to commit to your time. But I'm going to show you how we can gauge this. So we're going to talk about actual walk-in commitment versus actual, I can't even see my own title, actual walk-in data. Am I putting in enough time? Am I just not getting the results? where's my time going? They say I got to do. They say 30 walk-ins a day, but I'm only pushing 22, 24, 25, and I don't. So here's how you're going to be able to walk this backward at lunch, and I'm going to use it for an example. On Tuesday morning, I committed to 11 walk-ins. Well, 11 plus 14 for the PM does not equal 30. All right, so but I'm going to have 30 on my route. So here's how I'm going to walk it backwards. So gatekeeper, I want to give a time value for the gatekeeper, about 15 minutes, and we're going to base it per hour. So we're not only working our day backwards for the morning, but we're breaking it down per hour. How much value am I putting in each hour? Guys, I get to determine what this looks like. I get to decide how much value do I put in my hour. Now, if you go work for an employer, a state, county government, or paid by the hour, they're going to determine how much value you bring to the hour in the workplace. If that's $15 and you're okay with that, well, that's on you. But I know I'm worth more than $15 an hour. I know I'm worth more than $25 an hour. I proved it. I know I'm worth more than $50 an hour. I proved it. So you get to determine how much value you put in each hour. So gatekeeper, 54 per hour when I'm walking it backwards. Decision maker, 2 per hour, or equivalent to 30 minutes for 1 DM met. So I'm looking at my dashboard, and if I have not met a decision maker all morning, I should have about 16 walk-ins. And I'm going to break that down on the next slide. But if I've done 2 walk-ins between 8 and 9, and 9 o'clock, it only says I got activity of 2. Well, let's look. Well, that makes sense because I've got a time value of 30 minutes per decision maker, so I'm on point. But if I've gone, if it's 10:30 and I've only got 2 walk-ins and 2 decision makers, that does not work out right. And then I want to give a time value for my presentations and or closes to include paperwork, 1 per hour. Guys, that's why we're out in the field. We cannot, that's our time value. That's where we want to spend prioritizing our time, with decision makers and presentations. And think about it, you want more time with it. I don't want to leave a decision maker because I don't have any research, or very poor research, or because I'm not being able to adequately respond to their objections because my rebuttals are weak, or I'm not asking, or I'm not using. I don't want to walk away from a decision maker just to go talk to another gatekeeper. I'm losing my time value. Focus on them decision makers. Focus on them presentations. And that's going to be your research for rapport, and knowing them objections, not only the words, but how to use them. Tonality, body language, all of this, conversational tone, good fluency, say it with feeling, passion, add spice to it, energy. You've got character, you've got personality. Let's bring it to the table. You plus the scripts is where the action's at. And as far as enrolling employees, I want to give a time value of 4 per hour on average. That's about 15 minutes. And this will work out for those seasoned agents. Well, there are ALXs. There are times it does take more than 15 minutes. Those are usually your ALX and your people that have large families. But it will average out because you've got employees that don't qualify, and all you're doing is providing them the no calls. And so that should take 5, 10 minutes, 5, 7 minutes, depending on what rapport looks like, or depends on if you're using that needs planner as well. That needs planner takes a little bit of time. So we got to be quick and efficient and systematic in our conversations when enrolling, so that we can add the time value for our hour. Hey, I'd rather see 6 employees per hour if I could. If they're buying something, that's just more AP. All right, so commitment with the time value. So here's what we're doing. I'm going to use an example for Tuesday. So Tuesday AM, I've got my start time to be at your first walk-in by 8 a.m. or before. So I've already discussed. That's why I have 6:30 up there. I need to leave Macon and be on the highway so I can be at my first walk-in by 8. Gatekeeper. So here's what I said. Gatekeeper value is 4 per hour. So for the morning only, you notice I'm breaking it down in smaller parts. I'm not worried about the whole week right now. I'm not worried about the whole day. I'm just, let's get through lunch. Makes it a little bit more manageable. So from 8 to 12, that's 4 walk-ins per hour with a 15-minute value. So if I take 4 walk-ins times, multiply the 4 hours equals, I should be able to get 16 walk-ins potentially if all I'm seeing is gatekeepers. But hopefully and ideally, that's not who all we're talking to. So there you go. You're reducing the value of your time per hour if all you're doing is talking to the gatekeepers, like getting paid $10 an hour versus 25. All right. So enroll. So if I want to arrive 15 minutes early, guys, if we're 15 minutes early, we're not late. That's a good thing, right? And so, you know, when you're running late, trying to get there, that anxiety and that stress and, oh, you can't think right, and you can't function. That's no way, especially at an enrollment, that's all or nothing. That's where the money's made. You can't, well, I got to watch money, but you just can't flake at the enrollment. You got to be at your best. I'm talking about your very best, because this is where you're going to get it. And you can't, nobody can afford to let somebody walk because of something within our control causes us to be late and anxiety. Okay. So start times are important. So I want to get there 15 minutes early. And if I've got 4 employees, about an hour. So I should be there roughly about an hour and 15 minutes. I want to get there early to, you know, build rapport, get computers set up, get my supplies out, talk to the contact person, find out what that rotating employees in and out looks like. Who's a backup? If you're busy, who's a backup that can help me? I want somebody else in that business doing the legwork because they have the influence and the credibility there. You don't. If you're going around there trying to round employees up, they'll ask you to leave, or it doesn't look very professional. All right. So that's how I come up with the 11. So I should be, if all I'm doing is seeing gatekeepers, I should be able to do 16. However, with the time value metric that I have on each of these dispositions, I figured that's about 5. So I should realistically, guys, now we all want to do 15 and 16 and be in the enrollment, right? And build rapport, but realistically, we can't do that. So realistically, I should be able to do 11 unless something comes up. So that's a real assessment to actual committed. So you don't want to commit to your AD 15 and 15 just to check a box. They know better. They know how invested you are because they see your activity every day. And if you're just putting 15 and 15 just to turn in 10 blocks so you can get out of there, they see that. They're not taking this very serious. And I'm not saying I see it. So show your SA, your GA, and your AD how serious you are. I promise you, if you invest in yourself and hold yourself accountable, they will walk alongside you. They will. All right. And then so Tuesday PM, just the same. I'm setting up enrollments opportunities for October. I want to give them about a 15-minute time value. And so 16 minus 2, that's how I'll come up with the commitment of 14. This will be trained on a little bit more in the future as far as time value when it comes to activity, walking your dashboard backwards, and that'll probably be somebody else. All right, so moving that. So we took care of this week, planning for this week. But I want to get paid next week. I want to get paid the week after that. And I want to get paid the week. I want to get paid 6 months down the road. I want to get paid, right? I forecast. This is something that's going to help me run my business and manage my income flow. Guys, we get paid. We get the chance to get paid every Friday. That's within our control. We get the chance to get paid every 2 weeks. If that suits our fancy and we're used to getting paid bi-weekly, then right? But here's the thing, at least we have options. As an educator, I got paid once a month. I didn't like it. I like the once a week. So Merriam-Webster defines forecast as to calculate or predict. Now that's a strong word, to calculate. That's being intentional. That's knowing your average. That's knowing your numbers. That's having some substance on your 4-week forecast to work with, people to go see, enrollments to go to, presentations. People's expecting you to come give a presentation. Calculate. If your 4-week forecast looks like what's up on the screen, you have nothing to calculate. 0 times 0 is 0. All right. Or the second option is to indicate as likely to occur. Likely. Now, this is just a forecast. It's a projection. This is where I'm getting my income from next week, the week after, and the week after. And if it doesn't look good, then who can change that? And this also provides structure so that you can organize your future what's. Who am I going to see? When can I see them and where? This is going to be your warm leads, schedule follow-ups, enrollments. This is your structure. You always go back to your structure. This is your framework that's going to keep you going, gives you that rebar to hang on to, or the scaffolding that's going to support you, is your follow-ups and managing your income and your opportunities on the 4-week forecast. All right. So always, 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 enrollments and appointments are always going to be priority. So that's what I've got on there. First, I want to make sure now listen, we can say, hey, this is a lot. I have to write it down, and I've got it in my calendar. It's in Epic. Guys, Epic's not perfect. It goes down. Sometimes we can't get in it. Anybody ever had a white screen? Anybody had any login errors or got locked out of their account? This here is taking control of your business plan. You're planning out your next 4 weeks of business. What does that look like? If it's blank, it doesn't look good, but you've got to have some substance. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. If you ain't got no substance, there is no faith. There is no hope. This is hope. This lets you know I might be having a bad week this week, but that's all right. I got next week. I got opportunity. I got 2 next week. Well, really, I got 3 next week. And then I got 1 2 weeks out. Now, what can I do to get to make it, optimize it more? It gives me hope. Bad week doesn't make a bad month. All right. And so there again, it's on your 10 blocks. It's right there. If it's that important to print it, use that ink, put it right there in front of you. You got to keep this in front of you. What does my business plan, my business model look like for the next 4 weeks? All right. So next is the opportunities. That's there again. Opportunities are enrollments that I have access to that I have not set up yet, or it could be next month's enrollments. That's going to, on my 4-week forecast, I can go ahead and plan out something 4 weeks. And then that way I know it's coming. If I don't have anything on week 9:30 and 10:7, well, I know I could be right now, if I don't have anything, I could be working around my October opportunities and go ahead and getting them set up for October 1st. Now we can't do it, or October 1st, Wednesday. That's going to, and then follow-ups. These are your hot follow-up, schedule follow-up. So if you notice, look at Wednesday. I'm going to bring this to attention. I've got on Macon, we got a hot, and it's not just a schedule follow-up, it's a hot schedule follow-up, and that's how it's dispositioned in Epic. It is a schedule follow-up where I'm following up with a specific date and time, but it's also hot because I want to be there within the next 2 weeks. That is being intentional and planning. Where's my next close coming from? Where's my next presentation coming from? Where's my next enrollment coming from? All right, and there again, it's still on your template. Everything's right here in front of you. It's suggestions. All right, So in conclusion, my mistake, utilizing the 10 blocks of time in the 4-week forecast is going to provide you that direction and structure. If I don't have it written down, I don't have it mapped out in front of me, you can't get where you're going if you don't know where you're at. And this is going to provide you a return value on your time, on your effort. You're going to add more value to each day, and you'll have greater return. So if I'm making $100,000 a year at my employer, and then or my previous job, and I can make that same $100,000 in 6 months here, how much more value am I adding to that 6 months? It doesn't take me a year. What if I could do the same thing in 6 months? And then everything beyond that is growth, abundance. The reason I'm here, better lifestyle, better quality. So it's going to add a big return if you can manage your time and organize it and prioritize it, and you add, only you can add value to your day, your time. It helps organize your thinking, helps organize your enrollments, your appointments, and your schedule follow-ups. And there again, this is accountability. At the end of the week, when I'm factoring up my results, and I committed to 89 walk-ins, and I only got 50, and I walked my week back based off of the time value metrics. So only I have the answer. And I got to be honest with myself. You got to hold yourself accountable. And that is being committed to your success in this industry. And lastly, the 4-week forecast, there again, it helps you understand, what am I getting paid this week? And it predicts what does the next 4 weeks look like. And so before I do that, I'm missing a slide, and this is super important. I want to bring to your attention. I couldn't see notes on here, but I want to bring to your attention on this 4-week forecast. This is important, guys. So look at my second week here. This is my actual 10 blocks. This is not fake, made up. This is real. So the week of 9/30 and 10/3, what do I not see there? My two priorities, my enrollment. So I have no enrollment set for the week of 9/30, 10/3. What does that mean? It means I have nowhere to be, nowhere to go, and probably not going to get paid. So, but what I do want to bring to your attention, there is hope, because you notice on Wednesday, so same 9/30 through 10/3, I do have a hot schedule follow-up. That could potentially be a close. So I've got to, for 9/3, I've got to be thinking about that this week, and then the week of 9/23, what can I do? What appointments can I make? What presentations on the spot? This is working with purpose, because I have nowhere to go, nowhere to be, nowhere to generate income. What am I going to do about it today? And if I don't know where my follow-ups and my opportunities and all this is coming from, I'm just shooting in the wind without a target and aimless. And I can't expect to be successful if I don't know where I'm going, or if I'm not using the tools provided. So that hot schedule follow-up could turn into an enrollment. And also Thursday, a hot schedule follow-up could also turn into an enrollment for week 9/30 and 10/3. So that means I got to get busy. I got to do whatever it takes. I got to talk to whoever I need to speak with, but also managing my time and my value. So Brian, I'm going to turn it back over to you, sir. That was a super, super big point right there I want to bring to your attention. And then also at the very bottom of this 10 blocks right here, if you notice week 10, 14 through 17, this other is start planning for Thanksgiving. Guys, we all know we're going to get hit back-to-back 3 holidays in a row. And we all know they're coming, but they still sneak up on us. This is a way to keep those from being distracted and so busy, so that it doesn't negatively affect our business or our business plan. So this is a reminder for me to start planning for Thanksgiving. And then from there, Brian, I'm done. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no, that was great, man. Thank you so much. It was power packed, full of information. You know, if anybody wants to use this slide PowerPoint, I'm sure Gerald will be willing to send it to you. Gerald, I wrote a few things down. I know Bruce had sent me a text. He wants to add to this as well. And guys, if you'll just give us 30 more seconds, let me just hit you with this. Number one, you talked about the time value, Gerald. And I think that's so important of owning the time value. And I have to control the controllables, and knowing what I have the ability to do, I can control the controllables. And when I commit, make sure I'm hit my commitment. The other two things, I'm going to skip the second one, go to the third one, come back to my second one. The third one was about the forecast. And I'm so glad you went back, because the 4-week forecast is just that. It's not where you are, but it's where you're going to be. And you mentioned, Gerald, that second week on your 4-week forecast. Well, you're in current week. That's 2 weeks down the road. So I've got 2 weeks right now to make sure I fill that second week on my 4-week forecast. What I do this week and what I do next week can put enrollments in that third week to make sure that I'm getting paid every week. The company pays us for consistency. Your bonus is 5, 10, 15, 20. To fall out of bonus, you go backwards percentage. So I want to make sure that I'm in an enrollment every week. So I'm getting paid every week. So I'm maximizing my contract every week. And the last thing, you talked about this being your real 10 block and 4-week forecast and how you carry it with you every week. Guys, it's important to have a paper copy of this in your hands. Sometimes we're not willing to pull out that laptop or open up that tablet or wherever you're holding your 10 blocks of 4-week forecast and update it. But this is a real simple, just a write on. So if I have an appointment, if I have a walk-in right now that turns into a hot follow-up for the next 2 weeks, I can flip my page over to the 4-week forecast, find when I'm going to be back in the area, and put it on that date to make sure that I'm optimizing my day. So that's all I have. Bruce, I'm going to turn it over to you, let you bring it home, and then we'll end this thing.
Let's go, baby. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. First and foremost, I got one thing to say. Lock in. Lock in. These next 3 months that's coming up, guys, look, it's the fourth quarter. One of the biggest quarters of the year. Businesses are looking to make decisions. And a lot of the opportunity that we've got is by preparing. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Take the time. Be intentional. Look back over your leads. Lock them into that 4-week forecast, and let's start compounding the result week over week. And that's what's going to lead to our success. And understand this. What we're going over today, it's not a suggestion. It's not a recommendation. It's a standard, right? What it takes to be successful is consistency and a standard, not the up and down and inconsistencies of trying to cut corners. And I'm not saying you're doing that. Please don't take it that way. I'm just trying to communicate to you the importance of what it is that we're trying to do. So what I'm excited about is over these next 4 weeks, we're going to be talking about how to get brilliant at the basics so that you can then unlock your true self and start incorporating yourself into every aspect of what we do and make this thing as fun as you want to make it. I'll tell you, there's something fun about loving the process. There's something fun about getting better every day. There's something fun about serving people and protecting their families. So team, lock in, let's lock heads, and let's go into 2026 with just the mindset ready to dominate and have a year worth looking back on and being proud of it. Brian, thanks so much.
Yeah, man. Thank you for that. All right, guys, let's finish today strong. See y'all Thursday morning at 7:30. Come with a lot of energy, because Bruce is going to be speaking on how to extract those leads and being purposeful in building routes. See y'all Thursday morning.
Brian, do I need to share this back to you so you can save the recording or stop the recording?
I'm going to reclaim host right here.
Okay.
Yep, I got it. I'm on it.
All
Good
right.
job, Gerald. Thank you. Thank you, Bruce.
All
See
right.
you guys.
Bye.
Well done.